We're off to the Bobbykfishing chum bag. Today's email comes to us from Timothy. He writes, Bobby K, in your last video you talked about an optical illusion where the waves weren't moving, they were standing still. How is this possible? Thank you, Timothy. Let's tackle this with another video. Why the rip? Think of it this way. If you were a bus driver and you were taking a busload of kids to the mall, you drop them off and then you go back at the end of the day to pick them all up. But you have to go into the mall to go get the kids. Where do you think they're going to be? Outside the bridal boutique? Probably not. If I was that bus driver, I'd be focusing on the food court, the arcade, and Spencer Gifts. Consider the rip like a food court. When the conditions are just right, big fish know that they can hang on the downstream side of the rip and eat well. This is how it works. This is the bottom of the river with a bump. Now let's add in the water. This line indicates the surface. These three arrows indicate the water traveling from left to right. When the water gets to the bump, it squeezes and gets skinny, thus speeding up. And then when it gets over the top of the bump, it slows back down again. The theory is that a little fish will come swimming along, get all discombobulated in the fast current, and on the other side, a big fish is waiting to eat it. An easy meal. Now let's look at the situation a little differently. With high water, here's the bump, and here's the surface way up here. The water is still traveling from left to right, but when it gets over the bump, not much changes. So the rip is less effective for focusing on the big fish. When conditions are perfect, I like to drive the TK421 around the rip to the upstream side. With the current flowing south, my wake will remain just below the rip. This means when conditions are perfect, my wake won't move. It stays right there until it dissipates. Thanks for writing, Timothy. You can do it too. Bobbykfishing@gmail.com.